Welcome to DCL Talk Show on DCL Radio. Today is July 18th, and we just finished some exciting games this weekend, and to discuss and walk us through and through those games and predict next week games. We have our regular analyst Imtiaz Jasneet. Before I welcome our guest, let me welcome our regular analyst. Welcome to the show, Jasneet.
Thank you, Jagan, and I welcome all the listeners all over the world into yet another week of DCL Talk Show. We had some exciting games. Some games lived up to their expectations, some did not, but that's part of cricket, and hopefully everyone had the time to see the great final that we have of the World Cup 2019 also.
That's true. That's what a great game is that. Welcome to the show, Imti.
Thanks, Jagan, and I'd like to welcome all our listeners again for yet another show this week. And hopefully, everybody had a good weekend with good games and good outings. So, yeah, lots to discuss. Looking forward to this show.
Okay, and we have a birthday boy, captain of Dynamites, Mr. VeeJay, as a guest of the night. Welcome to the show, VeeJay. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you so much, and welcome all the listeners all over who are listening to DCL Talk Show every week. And it was an exciting week in cricket, and can't wait to discuss.
Okay, let's straight away get into tonight's first game, which is Glads versus Blazers. I know it is a tough one for Imti, but your thoughts, Imti?
Well, Jagan, I think even last week's show, I think we didn't get to predict, but like whoever the analyst who predicted said that the Blazers would find it difficult to cross the line, and I think it was proved right. I really didn't want to talk much about this game, but to go through the formalities here, I think Gladiators just outplayed Blazers in every department here. They won the toss, they batted first and put up a huge score of 127 in the allotted 25 overs. The mainstay of batting was Anoop, who scored 49 runs and just missed a beautifully crafted innings by a shot by 1 run. It could have been a very good 50 for him, but unfortunately got out on 49. But I think nevertheless nothing taken from him. He just batted beautifully, understood the conditions well, and I think he took the team well beyond that 125 run mark. He was well supported in bits and pieces by Vaibhav, Munaid, Jawad, and some good batting lower down the order by Hari and Sriram. Just saw them through that through the innings and helped them score those 127 runs. But I think give some credit to Blazers here. I think they pulled back the game very well in the second half of their bowling. At one stage, Glads were like around 95 runs in 17 overs, and then they just pulled them back to 127 in the allotted 25 overs. So it was some good bowling in the second half, but then overall, if you look, 127 against Glads is always a daunting task, I would say, for any team with the bowling lineup that Gladiators have. If you look at Blazers bowling, I think everybody bowled their heart out, tried their best, but eventually you're facing a batting lineup like Glad. So wickets being shared between bowlers, and I think Vimal was absolutely brilliant that day, and he picked up 3 wickets and was easily the best bowler on the day. Going into the second half, Blazers chasing 128. It was always a big ask. They needed a very solid opening partnership, but then that didn't happen. And then they started losing wickets. And at one stage, they were like 24 for 4. And then that chase really got tough at that point. And then again, in the middle of the innings, they lost like 3 quick wickets in the same over, and that further dropped them down from 24 for 4 to 25 for 7. And I think it was almost gates closed for Blazers at that point. But there was some resistance lower down the order. but that was really not enough when you're chasing 128. Eventually, Blazers folded out for 61 in 22 overs. And if you look at the bowling figures again, like it was just disciplined bowling from Gladiators. They put the runs on the board, bowled decent line and length, and then just let the pressure do the job for them by getting regular wickets. And they just completed a very clinical performance, I would say. It was a good win in the end, and I think Blazers need to just tidy up their things and before they move on into the second half of the season. So
yeah, forget about the loss and fight it out in the next game. Okay, and before I go to the next game, if you look at our polls, all pool toppers are unbeaten as of now. Okay, they played minimum 6 games. Okay, the next game of the night is Safaris versus Panthers. Welcome to the party. Panthers, they showed why does the team year in, year out to be noticed. VeeJay, your thoughts?
Yeah, so this is their second win of Panthers, and I think they are kind of rebuilding compared to last 2 years. They lost some key players, and they showed up on this game. And again, Safaris, they tried to bat, but unfortunately nobody could have a decent partnership. Still, they played 25 overs, which is good, but still the score was way too less for this for Safaris to defend. Panthers didn't waste any time in getting to the score. They finished in 9 overs, I guess, and 9.5 overs. And again, overall, very good performance from Panthers. I think this could be a start for them. They should start winning more games because we see their group. They are kind of, in the bottom of their group. So, but they have only played 5 games. So they have to get most of their next games. If they can kickstart something here, definitely they can try to be in the playoff race. And Panthers, they always try to get there. So good luck to Panthers, and a good performance overall from Deepak's team.
Okay, the next game of the night is MI Rangers versus Marcos. MI Rangers literally dominated this game right from the go. Jesse, your thoughts?
Yeah, that's right, Jagan. And one strong suit of MI Rangers is their bowling and fielding, and most of the time that has come to help them do the cause. And this was no exception either. Marcos is a pretty decent team. I think they're playing for the first time, but they are pretty decent players. So MI Rangers knew, I think, they had a job at their hands, and they kept on compiling the pressure on the Marcos batsmen, as they always most of the time do, by not letting opposition have a good start, so that thinking that we are 3 wickets down, 4 wickets down, now we have to consolidate, and that gives their 4th or 5th bowling option, which is good too. But I think you always have, when you have always cushion of a great start by the bowlers, upfront bowlers, you some of your bad deliveries also tend to look like good, because the batsman is not in a frame of mind that he can hit everything. So I think they are a perfect teamwork, MI Rangers, in the bowling department especially. And I think there was one crazy over where they lost 3 wickets, the Marcos team, on the score of 39, with their most settled batsman Srinivasan going first, followed by Chandan and then Satish. And I think that that break any momentum that they were trying to gain with Srinivas playing a good innings, and he got out of 21, and then it was all curtains for them, and they were bundled out for 62, which is a fantastic bowling effort by MI Rangers. And chasing 62, I think they always knew that they should be favourite winning it, but they did it in style. If they after getting in there with the fall of Radang wicket, was on a mission. He just played 9 balls, but made sure that he almost finished the game in the mind of Marcos bowlers, that it's a no contest. And before he was out, he took the score to 38. And afterwards, it was some caution by Samad and some good batting by Aditya to see the chase off.
Okay, the next game of the night is Raptors versus FCC, a tied game, very rarity in DCL, and your thoughts, Imti, especially with the World Cup finals getting tied, in regular game and power play. Super over. So, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it didn't happen on Saturday. Nobody would have expected the World Cup final at that point. But I think if I'm correct, I think this is the second tie of this season in DCL also. Do you remember?
Yeah, I think this is GL.
Yeah.
I think Indus Thunder's tied with
Yes.
Troy Hawks.
Blues. No, Troy Hawks. Yeah. So, going into this game, I think, to be honest, I believe this was Raptors' game to win when they had the opponents out for 94. If you look at the game, I think FCC won toss. They elected to bat, did the right thing there, and scored that 94 runs in 25 overs. I think the real star in their batting lineup was Tejas, who scored 34 runs. And he got some good support throughout the batting order with some double-digit scores from Amit, Teju, Chetan, and then Sandeep down the order. And I think if we had some more support or some other batsmen would have stepped up, they would have crossed that 100-run mark. But I think nevertheless, 94 against the Raptors bowling unit was also a very good performance, I would say. But psychologically, that 100 would have made some difference. And to look at Raptors bowling, I think restricting FCC for 94 also was a very good effort. Bowlers again sharing wickets here, like 2 wickets each between Satya, Vikas, Sai. I think it the kind of economy rate also shows that it was a tight bowling effort from Raptors, and very good effort in restricting FCC for 94. Halfway through the game, chasing 94, Raptors would definitely have had fancied their chances in this game to win this one with the might. But again, like we were discussing last week also, I think Raptors was being considered more as the more stronger in the bowling department than batting department, I think. And this game had a good opportunity for them to prove that they were very strong in their batting lineup also. They needed a good start, but I think their opener got out for a duck in the very first over, and then some resistance for the first wicket. For the second wicket, I mean, one down batsman. But then they started losing wickets again. Some low single-digit scores in the scorecard, and then Pradeep Bota along with Mahesh Mutiala put up a good partnership. And I think Mahesh got out right around the break time, and after that, again, Pradeep Bota getting together with Vikas also tried to put some a partnership. But then again, once they lost Pradeep Bota, I think the wickets fell regularly. And I think it is a great effort from FCC bowling unit, especially because they were at 65, 66 for 5. And they were, I think, very easily cruising towards the target. And then they pulled it back and making the game a tie. I think it is some excellent bowling effort in the second half of the game by FCC. If you look at the bowling figures, I think Sandeep Gopinath, pick of the bowlers with 3 wickets, and then well supported by Tejas and Nandisha, 2 wickets each. I really cannot tell how close this game was from the scorecard, but I am definitely confident that this was a very close game, and it was just a matter of few runs here and there that could have made a big difference to the result. But in the end, I think very good game. Interesting game like this would make the DCL even interesting, and the playoff race also interesting. But I think both teams can learn from this game and then take the positives towards the next game. And I think Raptors and FCC are a well-balanced side, so they can definitely go a long way in the season.
Yes, that's a very well played game, and these are the games that make any cricket lover proud to watch, pay to watch. The next game of the night is Falcons versus Indus Bowls, and after a very long gap, we are seeing Falcons playing to the expectations of analysts. Your thoughts, VeeJay?
Yeah. So again, this was a low-scoring game. Indus Bowls batted again. They only were able to score 63 in their allocated overs, and they couldn't finish their 21 extras. So there was no great partnerships for Indus Bowls and Falcons. They are always favorites when they start to bowl like this. Maqsood 5 overs, 5 runs, 2 maidens, 3 wickets. Again, everybody bowled well for Falcons. Only Maqsood and Sai were able to finish their quota, but rest of the bowlers pitched in and took regular wickets. And batting, one of my favorite batsmen, Sudhir, Sai, they both, I think, they hit only 3 boundaries, but rest of the runs, I'm sure Sai and Sudhir might have ran like anything. So, congrats Falcons, and again, they are back in the playoff race, and they are in a situation where they have to win more games going forward, because the pool which they are in is all tied up with a difference of 1 or 2 points, except full toppers. So I wish them good to gallop is to get them to the playoff race.
Good. The next game of the night is Kings 11 versus Altair. What a game this is. Jesse, your thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. And as Imti said in the previous game between Raptors and FCC, this game is also a great advertisement for DCL. And I think we expected such games in this weekend when we were predicting it last week, because there were some very juicy contests, and I'm really glad that they lived up to the expectations. In this match, I think Altair, they actually made a pretty good comeback in the last 8 overs of their batting. Till 17 overs, they were just 53 for 5, and I think they were not seeing any light at the end of the tunnel. They must be thinking we will get out for 70 odd runs, and then Kings 11 would most probably make a meal out of it and win it easily. But I think a lot of credit has to go to Krishna and Manoj to make a game out of it. They compiled 50 runs in 6 overs. From 17.3 till 23.4, they added 49 runs, which is a fantastic partnership to have. And both scored at a brisk rate. Krishna scoring 25 of 33 and Manoj scoring 20 of 18. And ably finished by Naveen with 2 boundaries in the end, and making it a very respectable score with also the help of 26 extras, which they would have talked about it, that if we control our extras in our bowling, we could easily, or not easily, but we might be able to defend this one. But I think that's where they leaked a lot of runs, is in the form of extras. They gave 30 wides, total extras of 34. And I think Kings 11 always knew that they are up against a team where not every run has to be scored with bat to get help. But I think they were off to a fantastic start. The Altair with Khushwant Singh taking 2 good wickets. Sunil is a good batsman for Kings 11. He has always been very consistent in scoring runs for them. And so him getting out of on 0, and very next ball Vamsi getting out, left the Vamsi Singh and Mala on with a lot of pressure. But I think he responded brilliantly with scoring 27 of 29 balls, including 3 boundaries. And first he consolidated with VeeJay, and afterwards Ram Kadam and Gautam Sudhini took over. But I think still, if looking at the scorecard, I mean, there could have been so many moments which I'm not able to do justice to by discussing here. But I think Altair would be very, very gutted with the sort of extras that they gave, because had they put a little more pressure and challenged batsmen to score off bat, I think they would have made it difficult for the batsmen. And I think things got interested when Chaitanya got out when the scores were tied in the 23rd over, and that's when pressure is absolutely equal on both sides, because you are very much afraid in taking at least in even taking 1% of the risk. You want to play it safe, but you also know that it just takes 1 ball for you to get out. And they took 5 balls. The batsman, I think he showed a lot of composure. I think Ram Gadam, he took 5 balls before scoring that 1 run after that wicket got out. And I think Kings 11 won the crucial moments of the game, but this game would actually make a lot of depression amongst Altair camp if they think negatively. But I think it's a great game for DCL. It's a great game for Altair also, which they rightly can think that they should have won. But I think Kings 11 won the crucial moments and did the basics right by giving those wides less than Altair to win this game.
Very well summarized. The next game of the night is a great gift to our birthday boy VeeJay by his teammates. Dynamites versus Rising Stars. Your thoughts, VeeJay?
Yeah, and this was a crucial game, and we went into this game. Sorry.
VeeJay, can you talk a little louder? Your voice is a little low.
Okay. Yeah, going into this game, I knew that it's a must for Dynamites because we lost games, and what I told we have to do our best playoffs. We Rising Stars adding my kind of we take the.
No, somehow you are breaking up. You're breaking up.
I'm sitting in the same place.
Okay, now it is better. Yeah.
Is it?
Hello?
Is it better now?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, the partnership, and that is our bowler.
No, it is same. You're back to you're breaking. We can't hear anything from you.
Okay, let me cut it and.
Yeah. But then I'll go to the next game, and once you join, we'll go back to this game. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. The next game of the night is Brownstone versus Indus Thunders. Imti.
Yes, Jagan. I think last week when we predicted for this game, I think I did predict that Indus Thunders would win this one, and I think they proved me right here. This game completely belonged to one man, Madhusudan Haveri. In the previous game where I talked about Anup, who scored a brilliant 49. I think similar story here with Madhusudan, who scored a 48 run innings here. And he's very unlucky to get out at 48 again. I would rate this as one of the best 50, the best innings, not having a 50 to his credit. If you look at the way he played, I think there was only 1 6 in that entire innings. So that means the other 42 runs were totally singles and doubles. So that talks a lot about a batsman who is able to do that for such a long time, and that really proves that that batsman is technical batsman, and he can really score runs without hitting boundaries. So I would rate this innings very high, and he was very well supported by Chetan, who scored 22 runs. Again, he is known for his big hitting. The 3 sixers support that fact, and then also again well supported by Sandeep, their captain, with 18 runs, and then Dinesh staying not out for 28 with 3 big hits and 2 boundaries in that innings. So all in all, it looked like a complete batting scorecard. So whoever went out there did their job. Unlucky Verma got out for a duck, but then again, when you look at such a batting scorecard where everybody is contributing towards the score, it really looks and gives a good confident feeling to the batting team. They scored 131 in 25 overs, more than 5.5 runs per over, and a very good target, I would say, considering their bowling also. I think it was more about the difference between the teams would be how Indus Thunders look for the runs and not just boundaries. Like at least making, from my perspective, I think they took advantage of the fielding by Brownstone, where the ones and twos were more easily available, I would say. So Brownstone bowling, I think it was decent performance, but again, a couple of bowlers going for some high economy there. But the pick of the bowlers was Saad, who picked up 2 wickets in his 5 overs with 1 maiden, and the rest all bowlers just chipping in, but not really helping with any wickets. So I think that was the main reason why they were able to score that 130 runs, not picking enough wickets by Brownstone, and consistent partnerships between the batsmen. If we look at Brownstone's chase here, I think they started off well, not losing wicket very early. That was probably needed when you're chasing a high score. But then I think once the wickets started falling, they kind of lost their way. And like there were some starts in the innings, like I see couple or three scores of 15, but that never carried on to a big innings, because when you're chasing something like 130, you need at least 1 or 2 batsmen to stay there and get that scoreboard ticking, which did not happen here. And then eventually they just folded out for 97. I think I would give credit to the bowling here again. Dhruv Parmar picking 3 wickets, the pick of the bowlers, 5 overs, 2 maidens, 3 for 13. And then he was well supported by all the other bowlers picking up wickets, sharing the wickets between them. So again, like this was a good clinical performance by Indus Thunders, and I think this win would have given Indus Thunders a lot of confidence, because if we rewind back to last year, the pre-quarter final, this could be termed as a sweet revenge by Indus Thunders, because they came back with full strength, with full confidence, and they got those 5 points here. So good win for Indus Thunders, I would say, going into the second half of the season.
Yep, that's a great win for Indus Thunders. VeeJay is back. Hey, VeeJay?
Is it better now?
Yeah, we will come to know whether it is better or not when you talk about your own game, Rising Stars versus Dynamites. Can you?
Hello?
Yeah.
So can I talk?
Yeah.
Sorry. So yeah, again, as I start, it was a crucial game for us. I game against Indus and Poker, which are good teams going into this game.
You are breaking up again.
Hello?
Yeah. This is the voice. Yeah, this is better.
Okay. So that we had a game going in, and took the top order and with scoring major damage and 2 catches. So it's a start for me. I think team we then got the regular to that we catches didn't do much damage, and we were able to get out for 97. And for right, they are very good. They are a very young team. The Ankit, the left hand, very beautiful. He was of hitting the ball, the twos. I hit around like 8 on twos in area. So
we are breaking up again.
Okay. Now?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know my signal. So yeah, and then once we got them all out, we had a clear target, and Venkat scored 50 and KD scored 23, and 80 runs they scored were more singles and doubles, only like 3 boundaries scored. So overall, it was a good performance. We needed this win, and the boys showed up, and again, are trying every consistent to be frank enough this year, because we have a lot of injuries going on. We have people going to, and I'm not able. The problem was to consistent 11 goals, and rightly we have all the members back here, and going forward it will be a tough challenge for us because of all the good games we are going to play. But I'm sure we will be up to the mark and give a good tough fight and try ourselves into the playoffs.
Okay, you sit right there. Okay, don't move anywhere. Our next game of the night is Singers versus Pokeries. Jesse, your thoughts?
Uh, I mean, this game belongs to just one guy, Vignesh, and Vignesh. Uh, I mean, how do you wake up and ask for a better game? I mean, scoring 38 runs and taking 6 wickets. I mean, there are I can count so many good players in this league, and they are good, mind you, but they would still not be able to achieve either one of them in the entire season. Either they will not be able to take 6 wickets, nor they'll be able to make 36 runs, 38 runs. And this guy did both things in just one game. I think it was Singers versus Vignesh, and he had a great run. First of all, he was brought into attack pretty late, and then he proved that he should be bowling pretty soon because uh, till then the score was around 45 in 16 overs or maybe 12 overs 25. But they were always putting pressure with the bowling, but not getting enough wickets. And Vignesh once was brought into attack, I think got wickets almost and in every over of his. And to take 6 wickets is no mean achievement. And I think for Stingers, one guy has been performing consistently, Raghu, and he scored 21 again. And was ably supported by Rajan down the order, who hit 26 of just 16 balls with 3 sixes. It took apart a couple of bowlers of Pokri's side to give them a respectable total 90, which they knew that they were short, but they might not have think that it would be again Vignesh coming into becoming a villain for them. And they when they would have got Prasanna pretty cheaply in the second over, I think they would have thought that we can get this batting lineup to feel the heat and panic a little, because Neil was also not there, who is one of their mainstays in the middle order. But Vignesh took it upon him and hit just one boundary, and rest 32 runs he scored in ones and twos. Knowing Vignesh, I think there must be at least 6 to 10 twos in his innings. He's a class batsman on the offside, and he was ably supported by Saran Raj up the order, who scored 25. And then when both of them got out, it was up to Shravan Kumar and Ranjit, who hit one boundary each and scoring 11 and 10 respectively to take them over the line inside 20 overs in almost 19 overs. And I think this would go down as a convincing victory for Pokris. But I think Stingers had their moments, and they would be thinking, had Vignesh not shown up, this game would have been a little tighter more.
Okay, the next game of the night is Miles versus Lions. After a very long gap, we are seeing real Miles dominating the Lions. Your thoughts, Imti?
Yes, Jagan, I think for Miles, this was very much required, I would say, because they were having a very, I would say, quiet season because of rained out games or either the schedules or whatever you call it. But I think they needed some game where they wanted to get that confidence back. And I think, well, this game just gave them that catalyst. So Lions could have put up a better performance, I think. But eventually MCC Miles proved too strong for them, I guess. Lions, they won the toss, they elected to bat, scored 82 runs, which I thought is well short, because they have batting like batsmen like Nataraj and Shashi there, who have been strongholds for Lions for quite a while. And I think Nataraj did not perform, and that somehow is reflecting in their batting here. They had some good outing for Bharat, Sai Kiran, and Shashi, but that was not enough on the board, where they eventually got out for 82. I think it was more about partnerships that did not build. If you look at the fall of the wickets, I just see the highest partnership is like 22 runs for the second wicket. So after that, there is not real partnership anywhere. And I think that is what is needed when you're batting first. Put up some partnership, keep the scoreboard ticking, and let the batsman down the order explode in the end and get a big score. But again, 82, well short of what could have been achieved by Lions. I think that is, all the credit here goes to the MCC bowlers, and Praneeth, what an outing he had in this game. Like 5 overs, 4 wickets for 9 runs. anything like below 12, 15 runs, I would consider as an absolute beautiful performance by any bowler in their full quota of 5 overs, and you're giving a single-digit amount of runs in the allotted 5 overs. I would say that that was very good bowling from him. He was well supported by the other bowlers, picking up wickets and sharing the wickets between them. But I think pick of the bowlers Praneeth with 4 wickets here. Going into the chase, 82. Miles definitely has a good, strong batting lineup this year, and I think they would have definitely been confident that they would chase down the score. But Lions had some other ideas where they picked up very quick wickets in the beginning. The first 3 wickets fell for like just 5 runs on the board, and Lions would definitely have thought that they had some grip on the game. But then Karthik and Karthik from MCC Miles, both Karthiks had other ideas, so they just stayed there. Like initially, just played out the overs, not losing any more wickets, I think, and then slowly built on that partnership and an unbeaten partnership to chase down the total of 83. I think that was close to 75, 80 runs partnership there for the 4th wicket. And they made sure that they finished the chase and ended the chase in well less than 20 overs. So a lot of credit to their batsmen Karthik Balu and Karthik Jayakumar, who stayed not out in the end with 28 runs and 38 runs respectively. I think this would have given a lot of confidence to MCC Miles, like I said, and they needed this kind of victory going forward into this league. So I think MCC Miles is putting their foot very strong towards the playoff race. So good game by both the teams, but unfortunately, I think Lions need to pull up their socks if they still need to contend and come to the playoff. So
okay, the next game of the night is Risers versus Dark Horses. VeeJay, your thoughts?
Yeah, again, this close game because we know they had a and they're off. Actually, were 47 at least. Runs. It would be a again, Ono's 8 and 25 rise in this year compared to last, and I have seen them. Very exciting. They are now 5th in the 19 games and 7 games, so they have good run in the next few, and they can come into the 7 for 8 and 25. But we know a good, when Praneeth scored 20, and he's like 30, so patience from Praneeth, and well supported by Weng, and one last quick that, but the next 2 back power like which is where plus once you wicket you some air or single position slow.
Yeah, now you are breaking up again.
Anywhere.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
There's something wrong. Something wrong with your service, I think. Somehow, when you start, you're starting good, and then once you start talking, and it is,
It's okay. Is it better now?
Yeah.
So my laughing here. So anyway, so that's it's a very good stat from Nation Pawan, and both teams did pretty decent with the extras, 16 and 13. So this is a good win and for Risers, and they are again making a statement, and this is a entirely new team last year. So I'm for Risers, and the right way to build the inning. That's what Pawan did. Teams from how to patient and you lose wickets and try to build a partnership. They started and twos, the series will automatically lose come and what right, and to dark horse, and hope they can, in a positive, come back strong next.
Okay, the next game of the night is Canton 11 versus FCC Agni. Jesse, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this game also was pretty interesting, with FCC Agni batting first and not getting to a good start, but then consolidating in the middle with Deepak and Ramesh Satyavanam, the captain of the side, taking upon him to have some respectability in the total. And before both of them joined, they were 35 for 2 in 11 point, or 35 for 4 in 5 in 11.2 overs, and then they went on together to add 54 runs run a ball, which is pretty good. And Ramesh, realizing the situation that his team needed a stable partnership, and he promoted himself, which was a great move to see. And Deepak Patel has been pretty good for them this season. So both of them joined and get the score to a respectability. 89 was when Deepak got out, but I think they could have achieved a little more. But the setback for them was that both the guys who had partnership went out in successive balls in the gap of 3 balls. And I think as soon as Deepak left, Ramesh followed him. And after that, it was left to Hiten and Abhilash, who did actually pretty good, scoring 14 with scoring 1, 4, and a 6 in just 9 balls. And I think they would have been pretty confident scoring 116 runs in 25 overs, though they needed Ramesh himself to bat at number 6 or 7, which he doesn't do usually. But I think the skipper have set the right tone there and helped his team score 116. But their bowling again let them down. They gave 19 wides to could not break through early enough, and Canton 11 got off to a flying start, scoring 24 in 4 overs. And then Deepak Patel was brought into attack. What a game he had also. I mean, similarly to Vic, but his efforts would not be that satisfying because he did not contribute it in the win of the team. But I think a lot of credit has to go to Deepak first, showing his mettle with the bat, and then coming back to bowl a great spell, taking 6 wickets and keeping his team right into the contest. Because on the other hand, I think everyone was leaking runs, and I think knowing a couple of individuals in Agni, I think Agni think tank and Ramesh especially is missing a trick. They are not utilizing one of the very, very good spinner that I've seen in the entire league. The control and the dip and the drift that Abhinay gets in his off spins, and he can bowl some leg spins too. I think he's a very good bowler if given chances. He might go for runs, but as there are so many other bowlers who are going for runs and not even getting 1 wicket, Ramesh himself went for 28, which is quite a lot when you're defending under 16. Abhilash was given entire quota of his 5 overs. He went for 27. Hiten was most expensive, going for 34 in his 5 overs, 4.4. So I think if they would have played a little smart, if they would have made some good bowling changes, this match would have been a little more tighter. But I think their batting also, the Canton 11 also was in the same line after losing a couple of wickets. They needed someone to hold and someone to score at a brisk rate like Deepak and Ramesh did. And here the left-handed role was again taken by left-handed role Javed. He held on to one end, scoring 18 of 58 balls, scoring 40 dots. So that means he actually scored just 1 double, and rest of all were singles. So that's a lot of patience out there. And you sometimes need such innings because there are a lot of stroke makers around you who can play around you when you get the one end safe. So I think a job well done by Javed. And the main guy was Hari Prasad, who stitched the partnership with Javed, scoring at a brisk rate, scoring 31 or 42 balls with 1, 4, and a 6. And then they always had a luxury of Naz, the guy Najid Abdullah. He is a clean hitter of the ball, and he went on to score 20 or 15 balls. But I think after he got out, there could have been some tight moments. But as I said, Agni gave 19 wides too and some easy boundaries, and not penetrating enough to make it look like a score where they would have panicked. But still, the game got into the final over. I think Abhilash was bowling the final over. To me, I still looking at the scorecard. I did not see the game, but I think Agni should have won this game. But credit has to go to Kenton 11 for sticking in there, despite losing wickets, despite losing both the set batsmen to Deepak. Their number 8 and 9 also came in and scored 3 and 4 in just a couple of deliveries, and I think they needed 6 runs in the last over, and they finished it pretty handsomely. So I think a great game of cricket for both the sides, but Agni would feel unlucky losing it.
Yeah, I was watching this game for a couple of hours, especially at the end of the game. I went there, and it's unfortunate that Hari got out to a wrong decision by umpire. The ball was pitching outside the leg stump, and Hari thought he can leave that for a wide, and it's like leg cutter, so it came in. It hit his thigh, and umpire ended up raising hand. So it's very unfortunate, but he really played well in that game for Canton 11. Our next game of the night is Rockers versus Mustangs. Imti.
Yes, Jagan. Even before going into this game, I was reading the scorecard, and I think there is some error here because if you look at the Mustangs batting lineup, I think all the 12 players have at least a ball each. So that is really, I think definitely a technical error, probably. But yeah,
I guess it is a technical error because especially with the
new rule having 12 players.
12 players is causing little headaches, and
yes,
probably by next year, if the captains decided to go with the 12 players rule, definitely we have to fix this one, and hopefully by next year we'll fix it.
Yes. Just thought of bringing it up because the teams have an option of going and changing the scorecard even after they score it. So maybe I just want to bring it up to the captains if they're listening to the show that they do have time till Tuesday midnight to go back and change if they see any errors in the scorecard. So, anyways, going into this game, Mustangs. I think last week when we predicted Rockets was absolute favorites of winning this game, and I think rightly so because they have a very good team, and they couldn't have asked for a better game than this one against Mustangs. Mustangs batted first, scored 75, I think, which is comparatively a low score. And if you look at the batting scorecard, I see a couple of double-digit scores spread over the scorecard, the lineup. But I think the real key here was, again, no partnership. So if you look at the fall of wickets, the highest partnership in this scorecard is around 12, 13 runs or 15 runs at the most. So that says that they kept losing wickets at regular intervals. And when you have that happening, it puts a lot of pressure on the batsmen and on the batting team. And they need some partnership to get that momentum going in their favor, which did not happen. They got bundled out for 75, and thanks to bowling effort from Rockers, wickets shared almost by every bowler that bowled. But pick of the bowlers was Sai Kiran, who bowled 4 overs, 1 made in 3 wickets for 13 runs. So what an absolute all-rounder Sai is! Like he performs either with the bat or the ball, but you definitely see him perform in at least one of the departments. So that is the kind of consistency that Sai brings to his game. So a very able leader and also a very good player by himself. Sai, I think he's an absolute asset for Rockers here. Going into the chasing 75, I think Rockers had it in their kitty almost at the halfway point itself. But then Mustangs did make it a little difficult for them by picking up some early wickets. Not quick ones, but they did make some inroads in the chase. They even got Sai out when their scorecard was at 37 in the 11th over. But then I think the 5th wicket partnership kind of sealed the game for Rockers. With the 5th wicket between Naresh and Nitin, I think. close to 35 run partnership, and I think that helped them chase down the score in 18 overs. So like if you look at the bowling figures, I think Mustangs bowled decently, picked up wickets. Each bowler picked up wickets, but I think there was not a real pressure situation because they didn't have enough runs on the board also to put any kind of pressure on this Rockers batting lineup. So eventually they couldn't defend the score. So learning experience for Mustangs, but again, a very good solid game for Rockers, 5 points in the kitty and very well marching towards the playoffs. So.
Okay, the next game of the night is Knight Riders versus Blues. Before we get into the details of this game, Knight Riders won back-to-back games. And in the morning they beat Blues, in the evening they beat GLCC. Both games they won convincingly. And before I hand over this to Jesse, I want to talk a little bit about a guy by Chanakya Lokam. I was umpiring Novi Cup final. This guy is an awesome batsman, and if I have to say it in a very simplified way, if this guy plays for GLCC, I assure you that GLCC will win the cup. I assure you. So that kind of player he is, and he's playing for Blues. Hopefully, Blues have to quickly learn and build a team around him. With that, I'll give it to Jesse.
Yeah, Jagan. So I think, as you said, Knight Rider won 2 out of 2. They played a rain-out game also against GLCC. So I think job well done for Knight Riders, first of all. And going in detail of this game versus Blues, they elected to bat. They batted first, Knight Riders, and did not go off to the best of the starts with Kundan getting out cheaply. And then they had a partnership between Maulik and Satish. It was uncharacteristic of Maulik to score without a boundary the 23 runs that he scored. But I think he's one guy. He's very mature now. He understands the game better. He now understands his importance of being there. Because when you have a guy like Maulik, even he's not intending to hit the boundaries, it always keeps the bowling side honest and on their toes, because they know what can follow if we let this guy settle. He could not flourish in the end, but I think he laid a good foundation, which was good for Knight Riders, other following batsmen to put up a decent total. But I think they would still think they did not do justice to this kind of start that Satish and Maulik gave to them, apart from Ashish and Vihar, who is again one of the finest guy, been performing day in and day out. I think they should have crossed 100, 110, 115, but 93 was a score which some of the good teams would like to believe that they can defend. And I think they went on about their job pretty good. It looks like a pretty tight match, and it was actually, but the way it was going, first of all, for Blues, it did not look good at all. And as Jagan just said about Chanakya, if he's that good, I think Blues are doing a lot of injustice to not only to him but to their team chances also, because if the guy is that good that he can score freely 38 runs and against a quality bowling opponent of KRCC, I think and you see it is not just swashbuckling 38 that he came in and started hitting from the ball one. Though he hit 2 4s and 3 6s, which is 26 runs in boundaries, he scored 38 of 38 balls. That means he knows how to stay there also, and I think that speaks a lot of volume about the guy. And I think he just needed one more guy to be with him and finish the game up. But I think Satish got him, and I think that was game, set, and match for team KRCC. And I don't see any other contribution from Blues batsman apart from Nadeem Khan to even mention here. Again, like a lot of games we see this weekend, the results could have been different because they are so tight game, and there were crucial moments which could have gone either ways. But I think this game, apart from Chanakya's brilliance, KRCC held in there and finished the game in style with winning by 7 runs.
Okay, the next game of the night. Um, all our pundits predicted that Knockers will win it, but Legends proved us wrong. Your thoughts, Vijay?
Yeah. So, Jagan, this was a game that I was closely looking into because I know this was a very it will be either a knockout game or it will be a game where there is hardly any runs to come because of the bowling strength of both the teams. But the, starting to bat, Legends, they lost a lot of quick wickets. I mean, they were on track of they were, I think, 40 for some 40 for 5 or something, or 6. So 43 for 6. Uh, they were in 13 overs, and and then it was a good show by Moon. He stayed positively. He stayed there. He was very positive, and he took 43 balls to score the 12 runs. So I can imagine, the knockers bowling at him. So it was a start of a partnership between Moon and Sudha, and both are very good batsmen. I have seen them play. They play for me in Michigan Cup, and so it's a good to see them building that partnership and being patient out there. And Moon took 43 balls, and Sudha took 39 balls, which is and just one boundary they have scored, which is very really good because we know knockers bowling and how they will try to attack the stumps. But it was something I noticed was I didn't. Like they bowl 25 extras, and which is not something that knockers usually do. So that's something, an improvement area for them. And finally Madhu came in and did more damage and pushed the score to 90. Yeah, from 43 for 6 to 91 for 8. That's a really good rebuild for Legends, even though the score is not that high. But I think Legends believe that they consistently use 6 bowlers, and all those 6 bowlers consistently take the wickets, and that's what they did. Srikanth 4 overs, 6 runs, 2 wickets. Harish 4 overs, 9 runs, 4 wickets. Venu 4 overs, 15 runs. So again, they never gave knockers a chance to build any partnership. They took regular wickets. If you see their partnership, knockers were not scoring runs, and they were losing wickets in regular intervals. And what should have been good chase ended up very very well shot. And congrats to Legends for keeping this run alive and being unbeaten and heading into the next week. They are still one of the favorite teams to go deep into the playoffs. So good job by Satish and this team, and hard luck knockers.
Wonderful. With that, we concluded last week games, and we'll quickly get into predictions. The first game of the night is FCC Agni versus Detroit Bulls. Event contest. I'll start with Imti.
Yes, Jagan, this will be an interesting game. But just going with gut feeling, I would go with Agni.
Jesse.
Yeah, I'll go with Agni, but I think they need to play smart. I think their leadership needs to think differently in this game.
VeeJay.
Yeah, I think both are in the same race. They have only won 2 games, so this is a game for must win for both of them to keep playoff hope alive. So I'll go and pick against Agni, and I'll go with Bulls.
Okay, Safari versus Strikers. I'm thinking Strikers 3-0. Any objections there?
Yeah, I think Strikers. Yeah.
Okay. The next one is Canton 11 versus MI Rangers. This is going to be very interesting game of the week. Imti.
Yes, again, very good matchup here. Canton 11 versus MI Rangers. I think it would be between the batting might of Canton and bowling of MI Rangers. It's really tough to call. I will go with MI Rangers.
Jesse.
Yeah, somehow I feel this would not be a close contest. I think MI Rangers are way stronger than Canton 11.
VeeJay.
Yeah, I think this is a game where the quickness of MI Rangers versus the long hitting of Canton 11ers. So on any given day, and it's going to be hot and humid, and I will pick MA Rangers for this game.
Okay. Indus Bowls versus FHCC. Oh, Indus Bowls versus FHCC. Inti.
I'll go with Indus Bolts.
Okay. Jesse.
I'll pick FHCs.
VeeJay.
Yeah, I pick FHCC. They had some tough games before, but I'm sure this is something they can definitely try to win against Indus Bulls.
Okay. Altair versus TCS Stallions. Can we call Altair 3-0?
I will pick Altair. Yes.
Any objections there?
No.
Okay. The next one is Raptors versus Mustangs. Raptors 3-0. Any objections?
Yep, Raptors.
Okay. The next one is Rockers versus Southfield Super Kings. This is the game I want to watch. Okay. Southfield Super Kings, I watched them closely and I watched Rockers closely. Both are very good teams. And empty.
Yes, Jigan, I think this will definitely be a close contest also. I say a very much team this year. So, but again, in the end, I think Rockers might do a little 50 on them. So I'll go with Rockers.
Jesse.
Yeah, I think this game can get a little tight, but I'll back Rockers to win the tournament and win the game.
VeeJay.
Yeah, so knowing SSK, 4 or 5 of my players are already playing for SSK, so I'm going to give them the support and root for SSK in this game.
Okay, Indus Thunders versus GLCC. I thought of giving Indus Thunders 3-0, but then, empty.
Well, definitely the game of the week, I would say. I would really like this game to be a very close one. Just with the confidence that Indus Thunder is coming after beating Brownstone, I will back Indus Thunder on this one. Sorry, Jagan.
Jesse.
Sorry, what's the game we are talking about?
Indus Thunders versus GLCC.
Yeah, Indus Thunders.
VeeJay.
Yeah, I'm going to pick against it. I'm going to pick GLCC because GLCC always plays big in big games. They're coming up from a loss with KRCC, so I'm sure Samish would have knows the importance of this game. I'm sure big time team, big time players, and they will come up with the win.
Okay, the next game is Blues versus Troy Hawks. Boy, what a game it is going to be. After looking at that Chanakya guy, I want to say that Blues are going to win, but remaining 10 have to pay. This is a team game for a reason. So, empty.
Yes, Jagan, after the way you have been talking about Chanakya, I really would want Blues to win this game, but I think Troy Hawks has a more all-round ability and skill level, so I would just back Troy Hawks to win this one.
Okay, Jesse.
I'll pick Blues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Troy Hawks, especially since I played with them. I think they have an all-round performance, as Imti said, and they are a very good team to on any given day. So I'm going to pick Troy Hawks.
Okay, Stingers versus Tamil Pasanga. I'm thinking Stingers will win it. Empty.
Yes, Jagan, I would back Stingers to win this one, especially with Raghu being in a good form.
Jesse.
Yep, Stingers for me.
VeeJay.
Yeah, Stingers.
Blazers versus PCA Knights, and we don't have to discuss too much about this one. I'm thinking Blazers 3-0, especially, after losing to Glads, there is some inside anger that that will be shown against TCA Knights. Okay, VeeJay, do you want to say otherwise, or is it?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Blazers.
Okay. Safaris versus Canton 11. Safaris versus Canton 11. I'm thinking Canton 11 3-0. Any objections there? I hope no. Dark Horses versus Marcos. It's going to be a very close game. Imti.
I would pick Marcos here.
Marcos.
Yeah.
Okay. Jesse.
I'll pick Dark Horses.
VeeJay.
Yeah, I'm going to pick dark horses here because they need this win more than Marcos. So I think they are going to come and play a strong game this week. So I'm going to pick dark horse.
Okay, Risers versus Panthers. This is going to be another game of the weekend. Imti.
Yeah, I think this again will be a very closely contested game. Skill level wise, I think both teams are very well balanced. But I think Panthers is my pick. Yep.
Panthers. Okay, Jesse.
Yeah, I'll pick Risers.
VeeJay.
Yeah, I'll pick Risers for this one.
Okay, Falcons versus Legends. Imti.
Why again, like last week, game after game, good interesting games coming up. So Legends absolutely on a roll. Falcons after a stutter, they came back with a win last week. So I'll still go with Legends with the momentum that they're having. Legends.
Okay, Jesse.
Yeah, if you ask me honestly, Legends start this game way ahead than Falcons pre-match analysis. If I do, but it's a game of cricket. Anything can happen. But I'll go with the team form. I think Falcons is pretty down in their confidence. That's what it looks like. They need they would need a special effort to win this one. I'll back Legends.
Okay, VeeJay.
Yep, I'm going to pick Legends, and I'm going to say that Legends have to bat very nicely. Their top order has to click. They have to stay patient against a very good Falcons attack. So if they do their homework right, this is a game of Legends to win.
Okay, the next one is Rising Stars versus Pokeries. Imti.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, has to be Pokeries.
Jesse.
Yeah.
Pokeries.
Yeah.
Okay. VeeJay.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Pokeries, and I'm hoping they can have all their 11 regular players in this game, and if then it's always Pokeries.
Okay, the last game of the night is Brownstone versus MCC Miles. Tricky one. Imti.
Boy, again, like interesting games, interesting matchups. MCC Miles after the win and Brownstone down with confidence. So I think I'll go with MCC Miles.
Wow. Okay, Jesse.
Somehow I have a feel we'll see a 6-studded 50 from Sanjay Languvan and MCC winning this one.
You're giving it to MCC Miles.
Yeah.
Okay, VeeJay.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Brownstone in this game. I mean, it will be a close contest between both the teams. Both are coming off MCC as one, so they'll be very confident. And Brownstone, they're coming off from loss, so they should be pretty confident to get this win and get into the playoff race. So this is going to be very close, but benefit of the doubt, I'll give to Brownstone.
Okay, wonderful. With that, we have concluded all the predictions. But this week, these predictions I liked a lot because the way you guys put your points and gave your points and why they are going to win is something I liked. Okay, with that, we will conclude tonight's show here with the last words from all our three analysts. I'll start with Imti.
Yes, again, just would like to thank our listeners again, and hopefully all the games are played in the right spirit. And again, a word of caution: high temperatures, heat wave for Detroit. So just be cautious, be hydrated, and play safe. Good luck.
I would say take as many breaks as possible. That
Yes.
is the best way, and rotate your fielders. Jesse.
Yeah, and no drinks before night of the game. So, thank you all the listeners for joining in. As promised, we had a lot of exciting games, and I think we did justice discussing those, giving credit to the guys who performed. And we'll have your company next week when we have a great contest to discuss again.
Okay, birthday boy, VeeJay.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you to all the listeners for listening to the show. Again, a great year for DCL, and we are entering into the second half, which is going to be very crucial, which is going to be very, very tight races, and it's getting more excited when you go into July, August. Yeah, you are going for a lot of excitement, and then I'm eagerly waiting to see how all the teams shape up for the second half.
Okay, wonderful. With that, we will conclude tonight's show here. Keep listening DCL Talk Show on DCL Radio. And once again, happy birthday to you, VeeJay. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks. Bye. Good night.